In this tutorial, we are going to create your artboard to begin the tangram. We are going to have a 7x7-inch artboard to build our 6x6-inch tangram. This will give us a 1/2 inch border all the way around. Go ahead and launch Illustrator. Select Create New. Select Print. Choose Letter. And inside the preset details, let's change the units of measurement to inches. For the width, change it to 7 inches. For height, change it to 7 inches. And click Create. Now, to add guides, you will need to first show the rulers. There are 3 ways to do that. In the Properties panel, since nothing is selected, you are seeing the artboard properties. Select the ruler icon to show the rulers. You can click it again to hide them. The second way is to go to View, Locate Rulers, Show Rulers. You can also use the keyboard shortcut, which is the method I use to show and hide rulers. Notice that the keyboard shortcut to the right says Ctrl+R. If you're on a PC, for a Mac it'll probably read Command+R. This is a toggle. This will toggle your rulers on or off. Go ahead and try that now. With the rulers visible, let's add some guides. Make sure that your selection tool is selected. You can press V on the keyboard or select it directly from the toolbar. Now what we are going to do is we are going to pull out a guide from the ruler. So click and drag from the left ruler to the right to pull out a guide and place it at 1/2 inch. If you are doing it right, you should see the dotted look of a line. If not, go back and try again. Remember, click and drag. It's like you're clicking and pulling out that guide. Now, if you mess up, you can always move your guide by selecting it and dragging it to a new position. If it doesn't want to move, the guide may be locked. Let's make sure that nothing else is currently selected. Click on your artboard or click on the gray workspace. Go back to your Properties panel and select the Unlock Guides button. This will now allow you to select and drag the guide to a new location. Go ahead and drag another guide out to the 6.5 inch mark. Now, sometimes eyeballing it can be a bit difficult. If you want to make sure that you have placed the guides appropriately, select the guide and notice in the Transform panel an X and a Y. X is for horizontal placement. With the guide selected, you can type in the X placement where it needs to be. In this case, 0.5 for the left guide, and 6.5 for the right guide. Don't go by sight, always trust the math. To create the other 2 guides for the top and bottom, click and drag from the top ruler to the 1/2 inch and 6.5 inch mark. Again, if you're trying to be exact, select the guide and go to the Transform panel. Look at the Y for vertical placement. Select each guide to make sure that it's sitting at 0.5 or 6.5. With your guides in place, let's go ahead and lock them down. Let's clear out our selection by selecting the artboard or the gray area workspace. In Guides, click the lock icon. This keeps you from being able to select and accidentally move them. Trust me, it happens when you start having a lot of objects on your board. If you want to hide the guides, you can click the Hide and Show button to the left of the lock button in the Properties panel. Or, up at the top in your menu, click View, select Guides, and Show or Hide depending on its current state. The keyboard shortcut for this, by the way, is Control plus the semicolon. Now let's go ahead and save our document. Go to File, Save As, and choose a location that you will remember. Name it with your last name hyphen Tangram. Choose Adobe Illustrator as the type, or AI. I like to use AI, which is native Adobe Illustrator, for all of my works in progress. Select Save. On the next screen, you can leave everything as is. Click OK. Now, that was a great starting point, and when you're ready, select the next tutorial and we'll keep going with building a tangram.